Hi, swimmers. I'm Coach David, and I'm here with Anna Lee,
Hi, everyone.
along with the debut of our newest star swimmer, Buster. There he is in all his glory. We're here at the swim studio using the Endless Pools Elite model for this training video. Today, we're going to discuss and demonstrate some of the main keys to improve your breathing technique. The keys center around 6 elements: increasing your comfort level, balance, stability, active streamline, correct body position, and alignment in the water. A lot of swimmers experience frustration with getting air as they swim. Depending on the location of your swim and type of water, it can be difficult and it might not be easy, but it can be easier. Rather than a desperate, jerky, and off-balance motion, what we want to create is a series of seamless, coordinated movements. So let's get old Buster to start earning his pay, then get right to it. First, let's discuss head position and body alignment. Some swimmers try to swim on top of the water, powering through, using a lot of force to overcome the resistance of the water. When this is done, it takes our head out of alignment. Let's get Buster to demonstrate. You can see in this position, Buster had a neck. It would be curved upward, making the crown of his head point upward. The forehead points forward, as do his eyes. This position would also create a lot of tension in his neck and shoulders. In this position, he has now changed his center of gravity and is out of balance and alignment. He is now actually dragging his lower body and creating more resistance due to both his head and lower body position. Now let's place him in a more comfortable, balanced, and stable position by moving the crown of the head point straight ahead. His forehead now lies flat to the water like it was resting on a cushion. His neck straightens, so his forehead and shoulders are now resting in and supported by the water. Now his head is in line with his spine, creating much better body position and alignment. He is more relaxed because the tension in his neck and shoulders has also dissipated. Once he is in this position, you can see the bow wave that is formed in front of his head. This bow wave is critical to helping Buster successfully find air to breathe. As long as Buster keeps his head in line with his spine and his crown pointing forward, the bow wave creates a little eddy between his nose and shoulders, which is the exact spot he can use to get his air. You'll also hear this referred to as the one goggle in and one goggle out position. Now notice the red and green tape on Buster's mouth. The tape represents the areas of the mouth which are closed to prevent too much water from getting in, and open, which allows air to get through. We'll discuss the shape of the mouth more in just a bit. Now for the next key for improving the breath: how to create comfort, balance, stability, and body alignment during extension and active streamline. For many swimmers, the stroke cycle is not well synchronized. When it comes to getting air, many swimmers start their catch too soon. When that happens, the front or lead arm collapses downward, breaking streamline too early. This completely eliminates any front frame support they could get from the lead arm in extension as they rotate the whole body and head to find air. Let's get Buster to demonstrate. This is what happens once his lead extension arm collapses downward too early. Buster starts to feel uncomfortable in his attempt to get air because he feels a loss of support for the front frame. His body is now sinking. If he wants to find air, he has no choice but to over-rotate and raise his head more and more, ruining his balance, body position, and alignment while increasing his drag. So what do you think of as a solution? If we balance and alignment problem, we find that to create support, comfort, balance, stability, and maintain body posture and alignment, Buster must leave his front lead arm extended when getting air. After Buster has gotten air, he can then rotate his head back into the water. Now to the item which is often overlooked, but is a main key for a successful breath, the shape of the mouth. Whether you breathe to the right or left, or both sides, the shape of the mouth will help us keep water out of our mouth and provide an opening for air to flow in. This critical shape is created when we just slide our bottom jaw from side to side. Watch us as we slide our bottom jaw back and forth. To perfect this jaw motion, I suggest you stand in front of a mirror and watch yourself as you slide the jaw back and forth. A fair word of warning, just don't walk around outside of the house as you practice. The neighbors might just call the guys with the white coats. Now let's put this in the water. Notice that Annalise starts the jaw slide as soon as she is rotating upward. This makes it an integral part of the rotation and not something she has to remember to do once she's rotated. This is a small but crucial detail. Two things happen here at the same time. The bottom part of the mouth closes off, resisting water flowing in, and the top part is now open, giving an opening to get air. After she gets her air, she immediately starts her exhale as she moves her head back into a neutral position. Now for the final item, timing. Timing is another breath requirement that a lot of swimmers have trouble getting synchronized. Having a late and longer breath is very common, and having one affects the timing of all our synchronized movements. What I prefer to see is for you to start releasing your head earlier to go get air. The way we're going to do that is to tie the movement of the head to the entry of the fingers on your recovery arm. So as the fingers begin their entry, go ahead and release the head so it travels with the gravitational change of the body as it starts rotating. Then, as soon as you get air, start your exhale and turn the head back down into its neutral position. There is no need to hang out and watch your recovery arm come across. In fact, the less you see of your recovery arm, the better.
So, let's summarize as David demonstrates from a standing position. First, allow the forehead and shoulders to fully relax. Sink deeper and rest in the water so the spine is straight. You should strive to feel no tension in the back of the neck or the shoulders. The eyes will gaze naturally downward. He maintains his extension in streamline, as his recovery arm is poised to enter the water. Second, he times his head movement to get air with the gravitational change during the rotation as his fingers enter. Third, allow the lead arm to remain in extension during active streamline to support the front frame as you rotate the body. Fourth, as the head moves, the jaw simultaneously starts to slide upward. changing the shape of the mouth to create the bottom block and the top air opening. Fifth, once you get air, start the exhale and turn the head back down into the streamlined position.
Well, these 5 are not all there is to a successful breathing pattern, but you'll be off to a great start if you can master these 5 items. Remember my 2 rules for breathing during a swim. 1, there is no need to hold your breath at any point. And 2, as soon as we finish the inhale, we immediately start a slow, steady exhale so we see and hear bubbles as the nose makes contact with the water. This brings me to a point where I want to briefly discuss the development of a recent phenomenon which many of us find dangerous and unnecessary. Some coaches and athletes are promoting a training regime which they believe will improve their tolerance to carbon dioxide in their bloodstream by holding their breath for longer periods while swimming. They falsely believe that this practice will lead to improvements in breathing capacity and event performance. I cannot find research data to support this behavior in the sport of swimming. In fact, research from 2019 has pointed out that there is no improvement in VO2 max, lactate threshold, or time to exhaustion from hypoventilation. Make no mistake, holding your breath over a longer period while exposing your body to a metabolic load like swimming will cause several health issues. Among them is the buildup of CO2 in the bloodstream, an increase in systolic blood pressure, a reduction in oxygenated blood flow to the brain, and respiratory acidosis, a condition where the lungs cannot remove all the CO2 in the body. As a result, it can lead to hypoxic blackout and possibly drowning. Doing this creates conditions where there is simply not enough oxygen to meet the needs of the body. I don't know how to say it any more plainly than this. Under no circumstances should you just jump in individually or with a group, start a swim with the intent to train by holding your breath over a longer series of strokes. Sometimes folks get the idea of lung capacity mixed up with strengthening the pulmonary muscles. They're not the same thing. Plenty of air resistance devices exist which act to strengthen pulmonary muscles with specific exercises. I suggest you consult a medical professional like a pulmonary therapist, pulmonologist, or cardiologist for more information on this type of training. Well, that's it for now from the swim studio. As usual, if something is not clear or you have questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Here's hoping that King Neptune and King Poseidon are kind to you for your next swim. See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye, everyone.